States Army Military District of Washington, under the command of Major General Michael Howard, is proud to present the United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps. The 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, traces its lineage back to George Washington's original Continental Army, and today serves as the Army's official escort to the President of the United States. In 1960, the Fife and Drum Corps was organized to participate in official ceremonies and to revive our country's musical heritage. From the days of the American Revolution through the 19th century, fifes, drums, and bugles were vital to the military order and discipline. Field musicians were used to issue commands during battle and to regulate the duty day, signaling when to rise, when to eat, and when the day ends. This afternoon show paints a series of pictures from the life of a Continental soldier musician. We open at the beginning of the duty day with a training scene. In the 18th century, signals like attention and breakfast call would have sent the soldiers into action. Here we begin with those signals and accompany their daily training with marching tunes, including Drums and Guns and Simple Joshua. Soldiers of the United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps wear uniforms patterned after those of General Washington's colonial army. In order to be easily identified, military musicians wore the reverse colors of the regiment to which they were assigned. At that time, American infantry soldiers wore blue coats with red facings, thus the musicians wore red coats with blue facings. Traditionally, the most skilled drummer was given the title of drum major and was chosen to lead the musicians. Today, the drum major, Sergeant First Class William Parks, who stands before you, wears the light infantry cap and issues silent commands using the espontoon, an adapted 18th century weapon. At the end of the day, troops would often gather around the campfire to relax, and the musicians would provide entertainment. Picture yourselves in such a setting now as we feature the fife and bugle groups in a scene reminiscent of the soldier's respite following a challenging day. this, the soldier is summoned from camp, finding himself marching resolutely to the battlefield. As tensions mount, the musicians relay the commander's orders to the troops. Firing commences, and the chaos builds to a fierce, percussive climax. We will now feature the United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps drum line in a battle feature. Remembering the fallen soldiers lost in battle, we open our final scene with the mournful tune, Roslyn Castle. The lament is brief, though, as we transition to a celebration of life and close our show with the triumphal Soldier's Return, during which the Corps will honor you with a stately and traditional troop step. behalf of the Old Guard Commander, Colonel James Stewart, and the Fife and Drum Corps Commander, Chief Warrant Officer Jeremiah Keeler, it has been our pleasure performing for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, now is my pleasure to welcome to the field the alumni and current members of the Fife and Drum Corps. While our alumni are taking the field, I would like to express our thanks to be able to participate in the Westbrook Muster, and I want to share a few things with you all real quickly. It's been a wonderful summer for the Fife and Drum Corps. We were able to participate in the National Muster on our way to the Fortissimo International Tattoo at Parliament Hill, Ottawa in July. And completed just last weekend was our first ever standalone performance on the steps of the Capitol in Washington, D.C. Look for us in September at the Chester 150th. We'll be up there to say hello. And upcoming is our Juniors Workshop. If you have a chance, bring your kids on down. We do that at Fort Myer. Watch for our performances with the United States Army Band over the holidays. We perform with them at Constitution Hall. We'll be at the Midwest Clinic, and for those of you who are in the band and the orchestra world. And check our social media. We were in the planning and development of a revitalization of a program we used to do, the Fife and Drum Corps Field Days, tentatively scheduled for next summer, Fort Myer. So just keep looking out there. If we can get you down there, we'd love to have you out there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here are our alumni on the field. It is my privilege as the commander to welcome all of these folks back onto our field. As we know, we wouldn't get to do what we do today without the men and women who served before us. So performing Girl I Left Behind Me, unless he's telling me they're changing it right now. Oh, we're going to do a streamer. Presenting a streamer from Westbrook Drum Corps will be Kathy and Clyde Auger. Receiving the streamer are our alumni, Drum Major Tony Hawksworth. Please enjoy the alumni performances of Girl I Left Behind Me, Crazy Army, Drums and Guns, and Yankee Doodle. Thank you, General. Once again, it has been our pleasure performing for you this afternoon. On behalf of myself, the commander of the Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps, and the command team of the 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, thank you to all the alumni who joined us on the field today. We get to do what we do because of the standards that you set and the generations before us. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.